everybody, this is Omar Ruiz with LaRue Investments, and I've been spending my day today going through this due diligence project on this property that we have under contract. I got all sorts of printouts here for electrical bills, gas bills, water bills, financial statements, employment contracts, and just going through all that stuff right now. Got here our due diligence list that was actually included as an addendum to the contract. This is a very valuable document. We'll make this available to you folks later on as a download. Also our due diligence checklist here, where you can document as you're receiving information and all the important information when you're purchasing a property, such as a title, your financing, the insurance, and so we'll make this available to you folks later on as well. Something interesting that I discovered while doing the due diligence on this project, I found out while I was on site doing the lease audits, is that the seller with some folks who were having a tricky time getting the utilities in their name because they would have to put down a security deposit. The seller would help them out and would say, okay, well, I'll charge you an extra $60 for the service, and he'll just keep the utilities in his name. But as I've been going through the electrical here, I found out he's actually, on some units, he's been getting the short end of that stick, because there's some tenants here that their electrical bill is far exceeding that $60. There's a couple of guys here, here's one, this particular unit, their utility bill was $115. Here's another one for $125, more than double what he was charging them back. So that's something I discovered there. And we've had some clients on the properties that we manage where they wanted to pay the utilities, and we convinced them not to. If the tenants aren't taking care of their own utilities, they're not as sensitive to the usage. And on some properties, you can't get away from it because they'll be on the master meter. It means the whole building is on one single meter. And I know we do have a property in the Inland Empire where the electrical on a certain building is on a master meter. And so we've had to talk to a tenant there because what she was doing, she was running the air conditioning all day long, even while she was at work. And our on-site assistant was catching this, and so we had to have a talk with her, and we had to increase her rent because she was doing this habitually. So you have to watch out for that stuff. Whenever you always want to charge the utilities back to the tenants whenever possible. And this situation here that I've discovered on this property will actually be a value play for us, because what we'll wind up doing is talking to these people after we purchase this property and let them know that, hey, we either have to increase your rent to make up for that, or what we'd rather do is have them put the electrical under their name, and then they can be totally responsible for that. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind when you're doing due diligence on purchasing your next apartment or multifamily.